Hey guys, so I've been hearing a lot of, I read a lot of comments and I listen to a lot of conversations, and I wanted to bring up that there's common lies or myths about an e-commerce business that I wanted to talk about briefly here. And so one of the big myths or lies that I hear a lot is that it's difficult or hard to start an e-commerce business. And the reason that's a lie is because it's not any more difficult to start an e-commerce business than it is to start any business. There are definitely things that you need to learn, and if you've never built a business before, it will take some training. But like anything, if you learn the correct technology of how to do something and you practice it, you will not be the adverse effect of it. You'll be at cause, which means you're causing things to get better, instead of at effect, which means things are happening to you. So you have to learn what you're doing, but it's not necessarily difficult. The opposite end of that would be that it's easy to start an e-commerce business. It is not necessarily easy to start an e-commerce business. It is easy to throw something up on Amazon and sell it. That part's really easy. There's free YouTube videos all over the internet that you can learn how to do that. But to build an actual profitable business, see, what a lot of people don't realize is that there are a lot of hidden costs. There's advertising costs. And it depends on the business model too, right? Like if you're doing retail arbitrage, where you're just buying somebody else's knick-knack product and then you're selling it for cheaper, you have to undercut your competition, which cuts into your profit margin. So yeah, that could be easy, but it also might not be profitable. See where I'm going? Whereas when you want to build a real business, meaning you're building your own brand of your own physical products, or whatever type of business model it might be, it could be selling digital products, building websites, SEO type work, whatever it is, there's a certain technology to anything. And if you don't know the technology, you could wind up spending all of your profits on bad resources. Like I said, a lot of advertising. It doesn't matter what platform you're building your business on, whether it's Amazon or Facebook or Google. All of those things require advertising, and there's a right way to do advertising, and there's 1.5 million wrong ways to advertise where it could eat up all of your profits. So myth number 2, that it's easy. I think myth number 3, in my opinion, is that it's expensive. It's not necessarily expensive to start an e-commerce business. In fact, it's a lot cheaper than starting a brick and mortar business. Let's say you wanted to go start a nail salon or an automotive repair shop. There are a lot of upfront costs and a lot of capital that you need to start that business, right? From leasing the actual facility or the space, to hiring your staff, to the equipment that you need and all the raw materials, and then of course advertising and licensing, and the list goes on and on. In e-commerce, especially if you're starting a business on Amazon, the upfront costs are very, very minimal. You need a little bit of training. You definitely need some startup inventory, and that's really about it. The costs come out as you sell your inventory, and then you replenish, and it's actually a very low cost of entry. Where people make the biggest mistakes is they don't get the proper training. They try to take shortcuts. They have this like get rich quick mentality, or this pyramid scheme mentality, where they're not really trying to build an honest to God, good, solid business. They're trying to just make a couple of quick bucks. And so they're always looking for shortcuts, the quick hack, the magic bullet, the fairy dust, if you will, that will just solve all of my problems right now. And the bottom line is, it does take work to build any business. You can throw a couple of products up on Amazon and make a few dollars here and there, and that's great. But if you want to be successful, you need to get the right training, and you really need to practice it. So it really boils down to 3 things, in my opinion, that have helped us become successful, and what I would like to impart to you. Number 1 is get the right training. There's a lot of free content out there. There's a lot of opinions out there, and some of those may or may not work. But for us, to shorten that runway, to condense time frames, we took the Amazing Selling Machine course, because all of the research had been done, and it's based on actual tried and true strategies that have been, this is now the 7th version or iteration of the Amazing Selling Machine course. So they've had 4 or 5 years of practice to really get this right. So the right training is important, and then of course a lot of practice. You have to practice anything. Chelsea and I just started a softball league, and I definitely need a lot of practice. I struck out my very first time up at bat in front of all my friends, and it was a little embarrassing. But I'm not going to quit. I'm just going to practice. So on my time off, when I want to go outside, I'll hit the ball, we'll play catch, and I'll get better. So in business, it takes practice. Don't expect to hit a home run every single time you go up to bat. It just doesn't work that way. You have to practice. So training, practice, and then number 3, very, very important, and this is your associations, who you hang out with. The great thing about being part of a community like ASM is you're surrounding yourself with people who are like-minded, who are focused on success, and who are doing it with you. And our community is so strong. We're always helping each other out. We have accountability partners. We have mastermind groups that we start and that we frequent. And that really helps us to stay in the game. So the training, the practice, and surrounding yourself with the right people, which also includes going to the right events and reading the right books. So those are really the 3 things I wanted to give you, and the 3 myths about starting an e-commerce business. There's a lot more, but check out the link below for more free training on selling on Amazon and some of the bonuses that we're offering if you decide to do the Amazing Selling Machine course, so we can help you build a real business with real success.